Good morning. Well, for me it's morning, but today I figured I would do a new video on the channel. Those of you who are older subscribers and those of you who are new ones, I brought you a little bit of a treat today. I am currently staying in a campground resort. I wanted to share it with you. It's called Forest Lake. It's in Advance, North Carolina. And I just thought it would, first off, it was requested by a subscriber. But anyway, I just thought I would share this review with you. I will try to kind of cover all the bases, or basically cover all the things that I know about the park. I've been here for many years. It's a great place. I actually kind of call this my second home growing up as a child. But I wanted to share this with you, and you know, I'll try to keep it as short to I can, but in a review this size, it's going to take a while. But you know, I hope you enjoy the trip and the journey here of going through this park. But this is Forest Lake Resort Campground, and I'm going to share with you a lot of things about it that I can show you as well as tell you. But let's go around. Welcome back. So I was thinking, how can I show the beginning of this video and what would be the best way to go about it, or to introduce this park. Let me turn this camera around so you can see. This is what you're greeted with when you come through the door. Of course, you see the gates here, as well as a tire deflator, I guess you would call it. It can damage your tires if you go that direction, but this is the entrance here in front of us. But it's a gated community. You know, security is only as good as you make it, but I feel safe here. I never had a problem here. Bear with us here as we start to make our process through these gates. While we're walking, I thought I might take a minute and tell you a little bit about some things that I do know about the park. There's 283 campsites, okay, on this property. Those campsites can be either a 50 amp service if you have a big rig and you need that, or if you need a 30 amp service. They do also have that. I'll give you an experience. So I have a 30 amp unit, and when I got here one day, the only thing that was available was a 50 amp unit, and I had to actually bring or buy a adapter. Now, that's not something that commonly you find into the situation, but just thought I would share that with you. So again, I will show you a store, and when I say store, I'm talking about a small camp store that this campground does offer. But anyway, like I said, they have 283 sites for full hookups, sewer, water, as well as electricity. If you, like I was saying a minute ago, if you have an annual spot, of course, all that is an option for you as well, to bring your rig in. Some annual spots you will see, you might see a couple here. I can't say that, hey, that's an annual spot for privacy reasons, but there is some of the campers in here have made it home for them. And what I mean by that is they've added a deck in, they've added some areas where they put gravel in, or they put some flowers in to make it more what you would see at home, because this is their home. But anyway, let's turn the camera around right now. You can actually get or as you start to come into the park, of course, you get a big nice greeting sign here that says welcome to Forest Lake Reserve, or Preserve, excuse me. Resort Preserve, they all say the same thing. I will tell you something that, give me a second, let me crawl up here a little bit further. Of course, we're coming up here on the right. This is the activity center, which you will see at some point here shortly. I will not be going inside the activity center. It's just because of the virus situation. It's not because it's closed, but it's just my thing right now. These woods that are directly behind me, or excuse me, that were behind me a second ago, these right here, these trails there are multiple walking trails if you're interested in walking. There's also, those trails have been used for, and I have done it, they use it for Halloween. This resort does have a lot of activities. Of course, virus situation being that it's COVID-19, people or the resort or the preserve, or however you want to call it, the park itself has kind of dampened things down just a little bit. But I will tell you this, it feels like not a whole lot has changed. When I say that, yes, people are still social distancing, people are still being concerned and being, being careful, but in the same point, you know, it's just common things that you're going to run in your life. You know, I don't want to go be beside somebody if I don't have to be there. But kids are still riding their bikes, kids are still playing in the swimming pools, people are still fishing in the lake. And of course, these are things you'll see here in the next little bit of lakes, and as well as the pools, as well as the activity centers. There's 2 facilities for a laundromat. You can wash your clothes 24 hours a day, pretty much 365. So you have that ability if you're looking for it. There are several bathhouses on the property. A lot of people that come here are either full-timers or have a facility inside their units, where I'm trying to get to. So basically you have your own bathroom. Let's keep walking through. Check back with you in a second. Okay, so as we start to walk down this hill, there'll be a couple options here in front of us. So they have right here what they call the overflow, which is basically when the campground is overflowed with all of this area up here, which is where most people are camping. And of course, this area, I do not know the acreage on it right now. I want to say it's like 100 and something acres, but maybe even more than that. I'll get that for you and I'll let you know. But this is an area where people start to camp. Of course, you have a little park bench here. You can sit and, I guess, meditate or think, or just decoration in general. But anyway, you see how the grass is pretty green, as well as it's been maintained and things of that nature. But they have a nice landscape here for you to see when you start to come into the park. Like I said, they do to make it as pleasant as possible for all people who come here. But like I said, it's a great place to be. I enjoy it quite much, you know, or quite a lot. But anyway, let's carry on through. I think we're gonna make our way to the activity center, and I will show you the adult center. The adult center is strictly for adults, and the family center, of course, is for family members of all. So anyway, let's take a look at that. This is the Forest Lake store grill in the campground. This is basically the activity center for family. And if we look over slightly to the right, you will see the adult center, as well as a building they use for activities as well. Around Halloween time, they use activities. This park is open year-round. There's a lot of options in this park for you if you're a full-time RVer, if you are just a weekender. The campground is actually quite lovely. There are some things in every campground that could be used or could be upgraded and done differently, but like I said, I've always enjoyed this campground as well. Like I said, let's go over here and get an idea. It is COVID-19 time frame, so you will see things that are kind of barricaded off, as you see right in front of us here. The park, the play set. But there is a swimming pool. They are currently open. As you see, there is a gentleman there that is getting the pool set up for today. This is a little bit before things start getting busy, but anyway, if you can't hear me, I apologize. Give me a minute, I'm passing that air conditioner. But this is the pool for the family center. Inside of here is a store that gives you the ability to buy RV supplies, buy Cokes and snacks and drinks and things that you might have forgotten on your typical trip. But the park, we have many more things to show you. Check back with you soon. Okay, I'm now currently standing in front of the adult center, which is basically here's the adult center. When I first started coming here, there's a jacuzzi, of course, that is strictly adults in the jacuzzi, but behind this building there is a there's a pool, excuse me, not a public, but a pool. There's one behind there that was, when I first came here, it was actually intended just for adults, and this was basically the gates, and this area was strictly just for adults. But I've heard some complications with it over the years, and people have now made it to where their family members can come in there, or all family members can come into that into the actual pool itself. But the building itself is strictly, from what I understand, strictly for adults. Let's walk down here just briefly. Okay, right here is the golf course, or the putt-putt, however you want to call it. A little miniature golf. Anyway, thought I'd share that with you. Just to let you know that the actual golf course, or mini putt-putt, whatever you want to call it, is available for you at later hours. They do have lighting up and above the actual courses, so you can come and play golf or putt-putt pretty much anytime you really want to. I have come out here late at hours of, say 11 o'clock at night and played putt-putt. And when it started to be cool, because summertime here in North Carolina can sometimes be a little bit hot. But anyway, let me show you this other building here. This building here they use for kind of an activities building as well, multiple purposes. When I first came here, this used to be an ice cream parlor to a certain degree, as well as a little store. That little window, which is right about here, you used to be able to come and see or get ice cream and things of that nature. You could walk in the store and actually sit down. It was a pretty cool place, but now, of course, they've just closed it off and made it a activity center. But anyway, let's carry on. Of course, you can see as we turn to the right here, there is a beautiful lake that you can fish. It is a quite a beautiful sight to see. There are some campsites, of course, that are backed up to the actual lake. But anyway, let's carry on. Hey, welcome back. So I thought I would show you one of the laundromats, which is directly in front of the adult center. This is right here. You'll see this nice lady. She's actually probably doing her laundry now. But anyway, this is right here in front of facilities, or in front of the adult center. So anyway, let's press on and see some more of the park. Whoops, little dip there. As we continue to walk through the park, you will see that there is a speed limit sign here that says 5 miles an hour. And they recommend that you do that just for the safety of those children that are riding their bikes, as well as those who are pedestrians walking through the park. This is what I would call the unshaded spot of the park. There are, of course, some other parts of the park that are unshaded, but this is like the main part of it. You could call this the open field. This is what they call the sea loop. There is multiple different sections or zones that have been called different letters. There's some A, B, C, and D. I want to say even E loops, so that gives you an idea of the campground. Like I did say to you earlier, that this campground does have 283 campground sites, which are full hookups. Of course, they do have the overflow. I have been in this place sometimes where it is so packed where you cannot do anything except for have fun with your neighbors. And of course, you all know, if you've been in the camping world for a while, but you'll also learn the camaraderie or the family that you develop in a campground is sometimes very overwhelming and can be the best part of your entire life. I truly enjoy it. I wish that I could do it a lot more frequently than I do, but that all being said, like they say, all good things come to an end at some point. But joining a membership of Thousand Trails is definitely an option for people. I'm not saying it's exactly the cheapest thing, but basically you buy a membership and then you pay annual dues. It's something you can pass on to your family member. If you buy a membership, you can basically and give it to someone if you pass away. Or a loved one can be given to in the family. It's not just something you give to a random stranger, I don't believe, but something you can do research on and find out. But again, like I said, there are 283 campsites on this property that do give you the ability for full hookups. There are also 13 cabins that you can rent. You may have the option in certain packages that you buy of a membership to get a free cabin every year, one a year, I guess you would call it. So let me show you something pretty cool here. If I can turn the camera around. This is a old tobacco barn that has been left untouched. It's just a little historical marking on the property. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, let's carry on down the park and see some more. So I wanted to show you some of the cabins that are available in this resort. Like I said to you earlier, there are 13 of them. Now these are different type of cabins. Across the lake here, if you'll give me just a second, I might be able to show you, but across the lake there is a different size, a little more, I guess you'd call it, a little more fancy, a little bit bigger. But anyway, we'll try to zip over there and see if we can't get some of those. But this gives you an idea of some of the cabins that are in this resort. So we are now standing next to the water here on the other side of the cabins here. Give me a second, let's turn this around. So here's the cabins I was referring to earlier. You've got a cabin, it's just on the other side of these trees right here, as well as one right there. Of course, this is the lake. I'm sure they wouldn't mind you coming here and feeling free to fish and what have you. But when I was a kid, they used to have something on the other side of that lake called the blob. It was the coolest thing. You could get launched into the air and you would enjoy some 300-pound man picking you up. Like, you know, for me, it was like I was a kid. I probably weighed 40 pounds, 50 pounds, but he would used to launch us into the sky and land in this big lake. But if you look across there, you'll see there's a beach, which you can feel free to, when it's open, of course, and of course it's open right now, but you can feel free to go across and, or be, if you're on that side of where the campground is, and swim. So there is swimming in a designated area. It's not just anywhere, but designated area. Feel free to, you know, swim. So let's go across and get a little closer look at these cabins on the other side of the lake. Okay, so I have come across the bridge there, which I was just showing you a minute ago. If I didn't, you'll see it here in just a second. But I just wanted to get you an idea of what, say the Maple, which is the name of these cabins. Each of the cabins that are a little more fancier, they have names versus just one and two. But I just wanted to share that with you. So here we are on the other side of the lake, on the other side of the bridge, away from the adult center, on the other side of the park. So let's share that with you. Let me turn this camera around so you can see it. So here's one of the cabins with a deck, of course, a much larger deck and much more fancier. Actually, some folks of mine or some friends of mine have actually stayed in this cabin before. Actually, my parents have stayed in this cabin with the girls, which I know you guys are like, where in the world are the girls? I've never seen the girls. I've seen them in the pictures, but this is the lake on the other side. Anyway, that's the bridge. And from what we were looking at from this angle here, that is the adult center, or next to the adult center, or the adult, what used to be adult swimming pool, but now that area is, of course, like I said before, is now allowing all family members to join you in the adult center. But anyway, that's this side of it. It's and if you can look back off the distance there, you will see that there are more cabins that we were looking at earlier. Here's another one of the fancier cabins. Look how nice these can be accommodating you. But like I said, these are an option that you can eventually at some point be able to come. Look at that nice little picnic area. Like I said, this resort, this campground, has all of what you need right here to enjoy a weekend, or if you're one of those people that like to spend the rest of your days, you can do that here. So let's press on. We're going to keep walking on around the lake here, so you give you a little more of a down on the lake approach. Don't get an idea, this is not a gigantic lake. It is not by any means, but it's definitely a body of water that you can crawl in. Let's turn that camera around so you can see it. Oops, sorry about that sunlight, but let's turn it around here. There you go. This is another approach on the other side of the lake. I do apologize for the algae that's growing on top of the lake right now, but normally this is not as, I wouldn't say gross, but you get my point. It's normally a little bit better than this. Don't let that be a factor on your decision to come and stay here or come here and visit. this is a great place. It really is. Like I said, I've spent many years visiting this place over a period of time. But like I said, beautiful place, great place to come. A lot of activities in the summertime, but let's I guess about wrap it up here. So give me a minute, we'll wrap it up, and we'll kind of go over the last couple things, and we'll call it this video an end. So I want to take a minute and wrap up this video with you guys. First off, those of you who are new to this channel, again, welcome. Thank you so much. There's a couple things I wanted to follow up on this review with you guys about Forest Lake Campground. Again, it is in Advance, North Carolina. If you get a chance and you're in North Carolina, stop in. I'm sure they'd love to have you here. It's a great facility for bringing children. It is definitely a people place. Like I said, the people, the campers, the whole experience is great. This is not Disney World, but you get my point. Something close to that gives you a comfort zone. This is definitely that place. Okay, so a while back I said, what was the acreage on this land? It is 308 acres. Again, let's go over to campsites. There are 30 and 50 amp services. I don't know the numbers exactly how many 50 and how many 30 there are, but there are both, and that 283 campsites. There are 13 cabins that you can join yourself with. Now, 3 of those are going to be the cabins that I was referring to in the last little bit of this video, which was the upper cabins per se. They're a little bit bigger. They can accommodate a little more. I want to say that the other smaller cabins, they are like 1 bedroom, maybe a refrigerator, things of that nature, and an air conditioner. Not a whole lot, but in the same point, who wants to come to a facility and basically just sleep or just stay in the camper? What's the purpose? I mean, in the wintertime, it might dial it down tremendously on what the activities are here, but in the summertime, this place is jumping. And like I said to you in the beginning of this video, I've been here, oh good gosh, almost a week. This go round of being here, and this is, like I said before, this is in the COVID-19 time frame, and you know, these guys are doing everything they can to kind of keep things going. Now, is everybody all the activities jumping and going crazy? No, it is not. But that's due to the virus. I can assure you of that. Like I said, back when I was a kid, back when this past Halloween, it was jumping. I mean, people and kids and just so much going on that you actually kind of wondered if you had enough candy to keep it busy, or you know, keep all your trick-or-treaters coming through. But there's many things you can do here. They have a schedule, I'm sure, on their website that you can get an idea of on their calendar of what goes on and what's planned for the events. But like I said, if you get a chance, come out here and check it out. It is in Forest Lake Campground Resort Preserve. Like I said, there's a couple different names people call it, but anyway, that being said, it is in Advance, North Carolina. So if you're in the area in North Carolina and you're near the Winston-Salem area, Advance is roughly not too far from that location. But anyway, give it a try. Okay, so let's do a little cap on me and the way that this channel is going. This is not my typical review. I just thought I was out here today, or you know, out here on this trip. I might share this with you. That being said, I do not normally do videos like this. I mean, yes, I do reviews and stuff, but my videos are based on my homestead, or based on the things that I basically run into or run across on the homestead. So if you are not a subscriber, please do so. And I would love a like on this video as well. If you have a comment, please leave it. I will do my best I can to do the comments and keep up with them as well. I think I do pretty good on it. I am new to the YouTube, so I would love your support. I would love your subscription or your subscribe, as well as your like. I guess that's Mike. That's my name, and I guess I'm signing out from the homestead, but technically not exactly at the homestead, like I said a minute ago, but in the same point. Thanks for joining me for this video. I look forward to seeing you next time on the homestead. Thank you so much.